Okay, well, I'm getting ready to do the fins, and I don't think I'll video record this part of the build because it's pretty straightforward, and there's lots of information and opinions out there on Rocketry Forum, various places on YouTube, and so on about how to do fillets. I'm just doing a basic open-end build, as you can see here, so I'll be doing internal fillets using rock epoxy with some long paint brushes or dowels and things like that. Maybe I'll use some air epoxy if I need a lighter type of epoxy to get way down in there. And then I'll do my external fillets up here. I'll try to line these fins up nice and straight. There are 4 fins. When I'm all done, I'll put the retainer on here, so I need to keep the spot here and keep it free of epoxy so that the retainer can fit on there. That's the plan, and I won't bore you with the details, but I'll get back to you later, hopefully when this is finished. Well, I decided to use air epoxy down inside for some of the internal fillets, at least at the bottom, because it just pours a lot easier. And then I ran out of it, but I just got this new set, 2-quart set from the amazing Mac Performance Rocketry, and I ordered this literally late on Sunday night, and then today it arrived on my doorstep Tuesday afternoon. Amazing service from Mike and Patty at Mac Performance Rocketry. And I hope that everyone supports rocketry vendors, because this hobby would vanish overnight if we didn't have the amazing products that these vendors provide for us every day. Alright, well, I'm pleased to report that the fin can is now officially done, and I've already gone ahead and put on the retainer with JB Weld. I'm not going to put the lid on now, because just in case there's a drop of epoxy that would glue it on permanently or something, but that's how it'll work. And you can see that the fin can is all set. I went ahead and put in air epoxy, tons of it inside there, all along as internal fillets on the upper and lower parts of each fin, and all the way down at the base where it connects up with the top centering ring. Packed full of air epoxy in there. Looks like a winter wonderland. Pretty messy, but very strong. Surfaces are well covered, and air epoxy is nice because it flows smoothly. So I had about 11-inch fins, and I needed that because it was hard to reach down there. I like rock epoxy as a general epoxy if it's a little bit shorter, or if you have more space. So on my Mac Black Fly 6-inch, it was a 75mm motor mount, so that gave me a little more room here, whereas in this case it's a 98mm, leaving very little space. Once this dries, it's just going to be to do the external fillets, and I think I'll go back to rock epoxy for that. And here's looking down at the final product with a flashlight, so you can see down in there where I have that bolt across way down at the top of the booster, and then you got this 98mm motor mount, which extends all the way up and connects up with the top of the 98mm 4-inch rocket. But that is the final product, and that's what it looks like with the flashlight. And as I said, I haven't done the external fillets, but everything else is done. And you can also see the bottom of the 98mm Aeropack minimum diameter plug down there. That's what that is at the very bottom. And the bolt goes across there just for extra protection. But the 98mm plug is then an anchor. It's not really being used as minimum diameter. It's just an anchor that I'm attaching my harness to above it. And now at the end, I'm just spending a little extra time just making sure that I didn't have any epoxy drips, because if you have a tiny little drip now, it's really easy to remove it with good old rubbing alcohol or whatever, but once it dries in an hour or so, it's really hard to remove, and then by this time tomorrow, it's almost impossible. At least I don't have the tools to remove it, so I always spend a little extra.